Hello, good people. We are the Posse Few. Higher Intelligentsia at your service. While undergoing our positivity observation, it never fails to amaze the few of the increase in the number of entities coming to the realization that they, and only they, control the direction of their destiny. Although positive proportions continue to maintain a lower representation than their negative counterparts, with the advancements that we witnessed, positivity is merely a reality that's waiting to happen. We have observed lifestyles taking a turn for the better simply by acknowledging the fact that it is up to the individual to steadily and continuously strive for self-betterment. There are supernatural societies that have grasped these philosophies and transformed from the possibility of extinction to becoming the most flourished cultures in existence today. Such an overwhelming metamorphosis is accomplished not by collective numbers of individuals pulling together for a common cause, but by the individual pulling its own strengths together and, in effect, creating common cause. To the few of the posse, we see this as very promising to affect the serenity that existence so desperately needs. Yes, hello, good people. Keep up the good work. We are presently amongst the inhabitants of this dimension in time to sort of accentuate on the all-importance of perfect order at this level. In the entirety of existence, everything has its crux set to a supreme routine of sequence. A sequence so omnipotent that anything in its opposition is thwarted, both absolutely and without fail. We have witnessed entire lifestyles thoroughly eliminated merely from the backlash associated with going against supernatural law. Yes, we have seen complete social environments dissipate from the combination of internal disorders clashing head-on with this grandiose energy. Throughout time, we have delivered this particular message to individual lifestyles that could be anticipated traveling the course, which would only be finalized with total demolishment. There have been many that have listened and heeded, rerouting their direction through internal remodification. Then, too, there have been those who gave the deaf ear, even as liquidation was upon them. We can only say to the inhabitants of this area, take control of your region by returning order in an orderly fashion, as to stay in line and in the same direction with the supernatural scheme of things. To think that bickering is an appropriate interaction merely puts this dimension at odds end with the rest of existence, which could prove to be most devastating in itself. It is imperative that this region refrain from positioning itself against the supernatural flow, or immediate and total catastrophe from a much more tremendous force is very probable. mankind, reinstate in this area the orderly way of life. We have been directed to relay to the populace of this dimension in time our awareness of an undying element which persists on this level of understanding. An element which continues to be in good favor with the rest of existence. Yes, let it be known that those entities living in the human order for the purpose of betterment, brotherhood, peace, and goodwill are being acknowledged by the supernatural population. For an individual entity to disregard the negativities of their environment is deemed as beyond reproach. We more than realize the temptations associated with physical factors. We also understand the dilemma that seems indicative with acting above general consensus. We put emphasis on the words "seems indicative," however, because in reality, your behavior is much more influential. Although pure benevolence may appear to go against all rhyme or reason, it is actually in line and in the same direction with the supernatural scheme of things. It is this behavior which enables your area to remain in existence. Also, while you believe your train of thought to be in the minority, it is being observed as the overwhelming majority, which will prove to make itself prevalent futuristically. To the before named entity, we say, continue. For these efforts will find you at the helm of your particular areas, and not in the far too distant future. Hello, good people. Thank you much for the warm and gracious welcome we have received while in this dimension. Again, we thank you.